What is going on, guys? Jay from A&J Reacts in. Before we get into today's video, make sure you subscribe to A&J Reacts and come join the A&J family. Now, we are just doing a preview of the upcoming Turin derby that is happening tomorrow, Juventus versus Torino, and I am going to be doing a preview and giving you my personal opinion on what I think the starting 11 should be. So far, we have had a very shaky start to the season. On one hand, if you look at it on paper, we have had a pretty decent start to the season in terms of the results we picked up, and with 4 points off the top. But if you look deeply into the performances, it has been nowhere near good enough, and that is just mostly down to the manager with the wrong tactics, wrong substitutions, wrong choice of people to start in certain games. So we'll just get into what I personally believe should be the starting lineup for the upcoming fixture against Torino. Now, this formation that we're currently playing, I mean, it's also to do with the tactics, 3-5-2, and I feel that we should probably keep with that formation because we've seen it last season when Allegri has been constantly changing around the formation and not being consistent with the formation, and it just sometimes plays on the players in terms of confusion, etc. So I feel we should stick with that formation, and the players I think should be starting for the upcoming game against Torino should be Szczesny in goal. The back three should remain the same. We should have Gatti, Danilo and Bremer. In terms of the midfield three, I honestly, personally, would sit Rabiot out. He has not been playing well recently. Other than that game against Udinese, I can't say with certainty that he has kept his place in the starting 11. It's particularly the last 3 games, he's been giving the ball away. He's not been impactful going forward, and he doesn't provide much support for the defence. I really feel that Rabiot should be dropped for this upcoming fixture, but knowing Allegri, it's not going to happen. So my midfield three would be Locatelli playing as a DM with Miretti and Fagioli. And I want to see that midfield for a number of reasons. One, I cannot recall last time we've seen that play a full 90 minutes of football, that midfield three. 2, if it works out, if it does well, and it's been successful consistently, and we consistently see this midfield working against most teams, and if it does well against the top teams, this also could be possibly a trio that could get into the national side if it really works, because we've seen it many times in the past where partnerships in midfield and in the defence for a club, and they're all of the same nationality, they do bits in the national side as well. We've seen it with Spain. I'm not comparing these guys to their quality, not one bit, but we saw Busquets, Xavi and Iniesta. They had a great understanding between all 3 of them for Barcelona, and it ended up working out in the national side because there was such good chemistry for them. And if it proves to be a good pairing in a good partnership in club football, it can go on to work into the national side as well. And we've seen it with defensive duos and trios before, like for Italy particularly, Bonucci, Chiellini, Barzagli, proving well to be a trio that went on to do well in the national side. So that could be beneficial not only for us, for the national team as well. If that midfield trio works, which I feel it would do, then it can provide more for the national side. So that is the midfield trio that I think we should go for against Torino. And then on the left, I know he hasn't been starting well. I know that. But Kostic, I feel, needs to consistently play, because once he has just one bad game, he just gets taken out of the team. And Allegri has always had sort of an agenda against Kostic in the sense that he always substitutes him. He never consistently starts. So I want Kostic to start this game because I feel if he turns up in the Turin derby, it will give him all sorts of confidence, because it's a big game for Juventus. And it's a big game for us at this point in the season because we need to get back to winning ways. We really do. And if he does well against Torino, I feel that his form is going to start picking up again. So I will give Kostic another chance. On the right, I think McKennie has claimed it. On the right-hand side, I think McKennie, that is his spot. He has been playing so good for his last 3-4 fixtures. He has just been immense. Going forward, providing support. He makes brave runs. Him and Chiesa are really the only ones in the last 2 games that have been consistently being brave and going forward and trying to make an impact in the game. So I feel McKennie, his spot on the right-hand side, that he is the starter now without question. And then the striker partnership, Chiesa, without doubt. And because we don't have Lahovic and we don't have Milik, it looks like, for this upcoming fixture, more than likely, we're going to be playing Keane. More than likely. But I want to see Timothy Weah play in his natural position. This is a perfect opportunity for him to start at striker, because we don't need him on the right-hand side. And that is not his position. And we've seen he's not comfortable there. Timothy Weah has to start at striker for this game, because Keane, last time out, was shambolic. Awful. Against Atalanta, 0 impact on the game, gave the ball away. I don't know how he's still with Juventus, I really don't, and why we signed him permanently from Everton, because he has got nothing that he can bring to the table. Honest to God. And so I just don't want to see Keane play. But I know what Allegri's going to do. He's going to start Keane, and we are not going to see Weah play in that natural position. But if I had to pick the lineup, Weah has to start ahead of Keane and play alongside Chiesa. Now that is the starting 11 that I honestly feel we should go for. That has to happen. But we know what Allegri is on, and he is not going to do that. He's just going to stick really with the same team. I will not be as surprised at all if he goes with the same 11 that gave an awful performance against Atalanta. I would not be surprised. And with that in mind, my prediction for the upcoming fixture for Torino, I mean, they've been doing okay so far. But I do feel we're going to get the win, because we always turn up for the Turin derby. Always. And I think we're going to see another masterclass from Chiesa. We'll try to impact the game. I feel that we will get a goal, but then eventually we're just going to hold on for the lead, as we have been seeing consistently from Allegri and how he approaches each game. And I feel we are going to concede, but I do think somewhere along the line we are going to get lucky and get a second. I honestly feel that a 2-1 victory is coming for Juventus. That is my thoughts, and that is the starting 11 that I feel we should be going in with. And if we don't, and we just going to play the same tactics, although we might probably win, we are going to see yet another god-awful performance. That is my prediction on what I think is going to happen, and that is my preview, and that is my starting 11 that I feel should happen. That should be put on the pitch against Torino. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below.